Team Chaos, Team Chaos here, and I'm here to do a deck profile. One of my friends' deck profile is Fortune Dark. It runs a lot of Dark monsters and Fortune Ladies along with it, so it's a good deck. It's kind of a weird build, but don't knock it until you try it. So here we go. Go ahead and start off.
Alright, starting with Fortune Lady Light, of course, the most basic monster to put in the Fortune Lady deck to bring out the Fortune Ladies that you need from your deck. Mostly Earth or Dark, because those two are like the most targets, make them waste their moves. And she goes great with Future Visions. Then we get two Darks here. That's in case of, you know, you need just small power but not overpowering, or something just for a decoy. You can use Dark, and you can use her to actually bring back other Fortune Lady monsters, like Water or Fire. Water is just something to use her ability on. Just drawing 2 cards and that's it. That's good. You can keep using you can actually get a cycle to keep her from like just being destroyed or something like that, and destroy her yourself, and use Dark's effect. Fire is good to bring her with Fortune Lady Light in an emergency using a certain card. I'll probably show it to you later. Fortune Lady Fire also does great in the. She can actually go to the graveyard easy if you just use a certain something. Just discard her or something. Fortune Lady Wind. Fortune Lady Wind is a great just normal summon monster. You can get rid of a whole bunch of magic and trap cards if you have enough Fortune Ladies on the field. Fortune Lady Earth. Great card to use just for straight up power. She's able to get bigger than any other monster in like maybe 2 or 3 turns. Next, we have the Dark monsters. The Dark monsters and the add-in monsters. First is Gravekeeper Spy. Gravekeeper Spy is just to bring out Descendant or either Gravekeeper Recruiter. Just for kicks and giggles, you know. Just to add. Descendant, next, is just for destroying stuff, clearing the field. I mean, I actually can clear like 3 or 4 cards off the field in like 1 turn using these cards. Recruiter is a great card to use, either get Spy or Descendant whenever you need it. And Witch of Fate, she's not a Dark monster, but she goes with the Fortune Ladies when you have no really resort. She's really good at stopping monsters that keep special summoning and keep special summoning, because you can destroy a whole bunch of special summon monsters all at once. Sangan is good to actually bring out the Gravekeepers or any other monsters that you need, like for Synchros or something like that. Just add them just for kicks and giggles too. Kinkabyo is great to bring out Fortune Lady Light or a 1-star tuner monster, just so you can synchro or just go on and get it over with. Turbo Synchron is just for bringing out Turbo or any other 1-star monsters. It's better to actually find your own 1-star monster that you can use. Cyber Valley is great for removing itself or removing something that you probably can just like defend against and then draw a card. Just drawing cards is basically what he's for. Dark Arm Dragon is great for power for this deck. This deck needs power. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It needs power. Breaker the Magical Warrior is just used for, you know, as you can tell, just destroying magic and trap cards, and great for attack. Next, we move on to the magic cards. Monster Reborn, standard. Future Vision is great for a Fortune Lady deck and to slow your opponent down, who normal summons like for scrap monsters.
Would you suggest 3?
Well, actually 1. It works better with just 1. Don't suggest 3. Mystical Space Typhoon, standard. If you want to use it just like a Fortune Lady Wind, just in case you don't have her in your hand at that time. Different Dimension Gate, good for removing your opponent's monster and one of your monsters that you're not using at that time. Secret Spellcaster Village, the actual card to actually be able to slow down your opponent if your opponent's not using any spellcasters whatsoever in their deck. But once they get the spellcaster on this side of the field, you're not going to be doomed. It just works. Pot of Avarice, good for recycling. Dark Hole, good for just clearing the field and using Fortune Lady Light's ability. Good for bringing out certain monsters that you need for either synchros or drawing a card or Fortune Lady Light. Magical Mallet, just to shuffle your hand in just in case you get too many cards that you don't need. And Fortune's Future, I just use for if I need to remove a Fortune Lady monster from my side of the field using using different dimension gate. Next time, I used 10 magic cards. Next is traps. Torrential Tribute, good for clearing the field. Barbaku, good for protecting your monsters and keeping your monsters for strategies. Divine Wrath, great for discarding monsters that you don't need and stop your opponent. It's a really good effect beat stick. Return from a different dimension, it allows you to just return the monsters that remove for play. This deck is actually good for removal. Mirror Force, standard. Destruction Jammer. Well, we'll say it's just something you can use to protect your monsters. Needle Sealing, good for clearing the field against swarm type monsters.
It's an old card.
Real old. Back when it was first starting out. Trap Stun, good for actual, stopping somebody from doing stuff if they rely on trap cards a lot. Bottomless Trap Hole, of course, standard. Malevolent Catastrophe, I'm still actually thinking, should I keep it or not, but if you have a suggestion, just make a comment. And next is Synchros. Stardust Dragon I have, standard. Turbo Warrior, just for against monsters that just like to target low-level monsters that like to target effects.
So in the end, you don't synchro that much.
No.
Okay.
And Gaia, Force of the Earth, yeah, standard.
So,
and I would suggest to add a Black Rose Dragon. Believe me, you'll need it.
Well, all right. Any suggestion of cards that you don't have that you would put in there?
Well, that's it. That was it. Black Rose.
That's it. Other than that.
Well, so far this deck is still under,
It's not tier.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not top tier, so it's just a deck that will catch people with tier off guard, pretty much. They won't have a lot to side against Fortune Ladies because they're not really big. So if you want to surprise people that have tier decks and they won't have anything to side against you, this is a good deck to start off on. Although, like I said, don't knock until you try it. I mean, the Gravekeeper's part may seem a little weird, but you'll get used to it once you get the hang of it. So this is Team Chaos's T, and this is Deck Profile. See you guys next time.